"Girls, let me introduce you to my personal doormat," she laughed. I stood unseen, listening. Then, silently, I made a decision, one she'd never see coming. I got off work earlier than usual that day. No text, no calls. I just decided to head home, thinking it would be nice to surprise my wife, maybe have dinner together, talk for a bit. Just a normal, quiet evening. As I stepped inside, I heard laughter. Loud, careless laughter coming from the living room. I stopped near the entrance, out of sight, curious about what was so funny. Then I heard her voice. "Girls, let me introduce you to my personal doormat." The room erupted in laughter again. I stood there frozen, listening. "He does everything I want, pays for everything, never complains no matter how much I spend. Honestly, I could probably tell him to lick the floor, and he'd still ask if I needed anything else." Another round of laughter. I felt my grip tighten on my keys. My first instinct was to step in, say something, demand an explanation, but I didn't move. Instead, I kept listening. "You think I'm joking?" she continued. "Last week I told him I wanted to go to that spa retreat, the expensive one. I just mentioned it casually over dinner. And the next day, boom, he booked it without even thinking. He's so easy to manipulate. I don't even have to try." The way she said it, proud, entertained, like it was a joke, like I wasn't even a real person. One of her friends chimed in. "You're so lucky. I wish my husband was that easy." "Lucky?" My wife scoffed. "It's not luck. You just have to know how to control them. Make them feel guilty, act sweet when you need to, throw in a few fake tears now and then. Works every time." The others laughed, and I heard someone clinking a glass, probably raising a toast to her genius. I leaned against the wall, staring at the floor. Everything she said played over and over in my head. I never questioned the money I spent on her, never hesitated when she wanted something. I thought I was taking care of my wife. I thought I was being a good husband. But to her, I was nothing more than a wallet with legs, something to use and mock behind my back. And the worst part, this wasn't even just her. Her friends knew. They laughed about it. This was entertainment for them. I felt something shift inside me. I wasn't going to barge in. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to give them the satisfaction of seeing me react. Instead, I turned around and walked out. I got back in my car, gripping the steering wheel, my mind racing. Everything I had given her, every sacrifice, every effort, it had all been a joke to her. And now, I had to make a decision. Not an emotional one, not a reaction fueled by anger. A real decision, one that would change everything. But one thing was clear. This doormat wasn't staying. I didn't go back home that night. Instead, I drove around aimlessly, letting the reality of what I had just heard sink in. I wasn't going to react emotionally.